Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We gotta add a little addendum to the show map today, so we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your weekdaily morning show where we bring you the latest in everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we will be talking about whether or not the bottom has actually come in for Bitcoin. You see, there is a pattern forming at this very moment on Bitcoin where I do believe that we may be about to see a rally forming. And the reason for that is because we are currently witnessing what is known as a bull flag. In technical analysis, one of the chart formations that you learn early on is called the bull flag. And a bull flag essentially looks like a flag at the top of a flagpole. And it starts out with the market going through a major quick rally. Rapid rally. I combine the two words. A rapid rally where you see Bitcoin or whatever asset rally very quickly. And then from there, it flags out, it trades sideways, and then you eventually likely see Bitcoin or the asset break in the same direction that the market moved into the bull flag in the first place and as far as it rallied in the first place. If that were to play out on Bitcoin right now, we would be looking at a price target well over $65,000, actually pushing up towards 70. So today we're going to be talking about whether or not this bull flag is going to play out or an head and shoulders pattern is going to play out. Are we going to see the head and shoulders pattern play out and see us crashing lower, or is Bitcoin finally done with its corrective movement? We're going to be talking about all of that and more in today's episode, so stay tuned. Thank you very much for tuning in. We are here to teach you guys how to be financially sovereign, and something I have learned over the years of doing this is that if you want to master a thing, you first have to control the thing. That is where the philosophy of financial sovereignty comes from. It is biblical. It comes from the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 28, where it says, God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth and subdue it. Key phrase. And have dominion over the fish of the sea and the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. The way that we succeed financially, the way that we succeed in anything, is we gain control over that thing. We have to exert control over our possessions, over our time, over ourselves, over our spirit, over our homes, over our businesses, if we want them to succeed. And when we do gain control over our homes, when we do gain control over our finances, when we do gain control over ourselves, then we enter into a state of sovereignty over that thing, of kingly authority over that area of our lives. And when we do that and we steward it well with a good, pure heart, then we are able to grow whatever it is that we are over, which is what anyone in authority ought to be doing. They ought to be in a place to help the thing that they are in authority over to grow. I am an authority over my son. My job is not to crush him. My job is not even to, quote unquote, keep him in line, although helping him to be obedient is a part of that. My job is to help him grow into the man that he'll become. I want to help my finances, our family's finances, to grow into the picture that it can become. And so I first have to start by being sovereign over that money, over my child, over myself, so that the things that I am supposed to control are able to grow. Let's read some chat. Cynthia Dizon is in chat, said, good morning. Cedric Lepine is in chat, said, morning, guys. Joe Bollier is in chat, said, good morning. Jeb, Philly Skills 1428 said, good morning, my guy. Jeb and Crypto Fam. Crypto Mini Bike said, good morning, everyone. RJ said, morning, y'all. Coin Operator said, morning. Jared Lundeby said, hello from North Dakota. Shout out to North Dakota. Been a while since I've heard somebody was tuning in from North Dakota, so shout out to North Dakota, all 5 of you. No, I'm just kidding. I hear that you can start driving when you're 15 up there. Is that correct? Obviously, I'm not 15 anymore. That was a couple of years ago, right? But that's what I've heard. because everybody has to drive because everything's so far away from each other. DJ Morales is in chat, said, hi, Jeb. Greetings from Portugal. Cheers to Sarah. Absolutely, cheers. Thank you so much. Chewy Cat said, hi, Jeb. What's good? Queens in chat said, Bedrock present. Crypt Torque said, Jeb has been on point. God bless. Thank you very much. Queen said, financial sovereignty or nada. Chasse said, woot woot. Alex Nibo's in chat. Lion Daddy, Ampex, Electricians, Duraj, Bob, Christina, Marcus, and more. Thank you, everyone who has tuned in. Let's get this party started. We've got a lot to cover. Let's jump on over to CoinMarketCap, where we shall see that Bitcoin is currently trading at $63,000. It is down 1% in the last 24 hours, but up 4% over the last 7 days. Ethereum is down 1.82% in the last 24 hours, up 2% in the last 7 days. Solana is down slightly over the last 24 hours, but is up 20% in the last 7 days, which is a very exciting development indeed. Cardano is up 5% over the last week. Avalanche up 12% over the last week. Sheeb up 6% over the last week. XRP up 8.5% in the last week. And Toncoin up 13% in the last week. Bitcoin Cash, after 5 years of being nonsense, has still somehow managed to stay in the top 15. It is trading at $482, and it is up 10% over the last 7 days. Bitcoin Cash is complete nonsense, but it is interesting that it's still in the top 20. Chainlink is up 10% over the last 7 days, and Near Protocol up 20%. This may very well be the beginning of a new altcoin rally, and we are going to be paying very close attention to just that, because this time it may not just be Bitcoin rallying. No, in fact, it may be the altcoins rallying even faster than Bitcoin was rallying. Bitcoin has taken the cake over the last several months, but that likely won't last. Looking at CoinMarketCap, we will be able to note that in history, what typically occurs is that Bitcoin's market dominance goes up during the bear markets and in the very beginning of the bull market. So pretty much the bottom part of the market. When Bitcoin is depressed, it is down. Bitcoin is normally the one that is gaining market dominance, because when Bitcoin is down, even if it's rallying but it's still below all-time high, then normally there's not that much enthusiasm in the altcoin space because people don't even trust Bitcoin to go into a rally at that point in time. So Bitcoin gains all the market dominance because the altcoins bleed even faster than Bitcoin bleeds. And you see this state of high market dominance, which we are still in. We're still in this state of high market dominance. Bitcoin is still gaining market dominance over the last several weeks and months. A year ago, Bitcoin's market dominance was 46%. Today, it is 53%. Market dominance is a metric that tells us the ratio of Bitcoin's value to the value of the total market capitalization. So if total market capitalization is $2 trillion and Bitcoin's market capitalization is $1 trillion, then, of course, Bitcoin has 50% market dominance. Now, the interesting thing to note here is that in bull markets, Bitcoin eventually flips and it starts losing market dominance, and the altcoins start rapidly gaining market dominance. And this is something that we see happen in 2020 and 2021. Right here around the end of 2019, Bitcoin hit peak market dominance at 70%. At that point in time, Bitcoin was trading right about here. You can see I have it on my chart here as well. Bitcoin's market dominance hit a peak right about here, and Bitcoin's market dominance started going down in between this vertical line and this vertical line. As it started going down, the altcoins started gaining market dominance. And what did that mean? Well, of course, that meant that they were gaining the confidence of the investor. Bitcoin was rallying, and it rallied dramatically, over 2,000% from bottom to top, or almost 2,000% rather, about 1,700%. And of course, people were very confident in Bitcoin, but because they were confident in Bitcoin and because of the influx of capital from the COVID-19 pandemic, which 5 years later, I'm finally able to say that without being worried that the channel is going to get taken down. Because if you don't know, right around here, we had the channel taken down for a full week because I said that word. Yeah, thanks, YouTube. Anyway, as Bitcoin started going into a major bull market and people were becoming more and more confident in this market cycle, this bull market cycle, a lot of inflows started moving into the altcoin space, and the altcoin started gaining dominance. Well, as you'll note here on our chart, Bitcoin's market dominance is still going up. Bitcoin's market dominance in the last cycle started going down here. I mean, Bitcoin was not even at all-time high when market dominance started going down, which leads me to the conclusion that this entire section of market right here is very likely to still be to come. I think that we're still going to see a lot of rallying coming, but we haven't even gotten there yet. Remember, during this point in time, we rallied almost back up to all-time high. But remember, we didn't have the halving yet. We didn't have the Bitcoin ETFs yet. No. Bitcoin rallied to this area all on its own without any of that. And so I'm really wondering if this rally that we've witnessed recently is much more akin to this rally than to this rally. And I'm inclined to believe that it is. But if that's the case, we must note that before Bitcoin was able to go fully into the bull market, it spent 6 months losing half its value. We dropped from $1,400 to $6,500. We lost 54% of our market capitalization. Sorry, 54% of our price, also market capitalization. And including the drop from the pandemic, we saw Bitcoin drop a grand total of 72%, and it took 9 months before that ended. We are now in a very similar point where back here, we rallied 350%. Here, we rallied 386%. It's very possible, almost probable, that this rally that we're going through right now is much more akin to the rally that we saw in Q1 and Q2 of 2019 than the actual bull market. Why is this significant? Well, it would tell us our next steps if that's the case, because it would potentially lead us through a major corrective movement, even farther than we've gone so far. So why do I say the correction's over? We'll talk about that. Or that it may be over. We'll talk about that. But Bitcoin still could drop a total of 35.5% over the next several months, down to $47,000. In fact, I would be very unsurprised if we dropped all the way down to $47,000 for reasons I've talked about before. We used our peak right here as support, right? Let's go to a cleaner chart here. Let's clean this up. We used this peak right here as support and resistance, 25,236. You guys, if you watched the channel a while ago, you remember me talking about that level ad nauseum, 25,236. We also used this level, $32,000, which was the 0.5 Fibonacci level, as resistance. $32,500. That was our resistance. In fact, it was 32,618 was a level that we kept talking about. Then we talked about the Fibonacci level, 0.618 to 0.65. That Fibonacci golden pocket ended up being support. We then used our resistance here at $48,200 to $48,700 in that range. We used it as resistance again and built this gigantic inverse head and shoulders pattern, right? And then we blasted off from there and rallied $30,000 in a few weeks. That being said, when Bitcoin originally retraced back to this high, which is our fourth wave on Elliott wave, 1 wave, 2 wave, 3 wave, 4, 5 wave, retract back to 4 once more. I just came up with that. How about that? If Bitcoin needed to retrace back to the fourth wave, then who's to say that Bitcoin won't need to retrace back to the 2 wave? It's possible that Bitcoin might need to retrace back to $42,000. That's all I'm saying, all right? Come at me with the clubs in the comments. I know that people aren't going to like me saying that. I'm not saying that it's guaranteed to happen, but it definitely could. If that occurs, yay! We're very happy if that occurs, and here's why. Because if Bitcoin does drop down to $42,000, here's what happens. You build a handle, and this whole massive market was one gigantic cup and handle formation. And if that plays out, our price target leads us to the promised land, $230,000. If you draw it on a regular chart, it obviously won't rally you as high, but it would still rally us well over 100 grand. You can see right here. $106,000. So cut it down the middle, call it $170,000 price target, depending on which way you look at it. Somewhere between $106,000 and $230,000 price target. That's a pretty big deal. So we're about to talk about why Bitcoin is looking bullish on the shorter term, but in the longer term, don't be surprised if we drop down to $48,000 and then rally from there. Now, if you guys are looking to protect your wealth, which you should, you absolutely should be looking to protect your wealth, here's what you first want to do. I recommend signing up for NordVPN with the link in the description box down below, or by going to nordvpn.com/Jeb, because Nord is going to keep you safe from hackers and thieves who are going to try and steal your everything. They are going to try and steal money from you. They're going to do it. They're going to try and see your They're going to try and see your IP address and where you're going online and get information about you and contact data brokers that have all of your information. And they are going to make an attempt to steal your information. Don't let them. You don't want that to happen. So please ensure that you sign up for NordVPN and protect your wealth by going to nordvpn.com/Jeb. Your boy shouting out deep in the heart of Texas. Shout out to Texas. We'll talk about the shorter term bull flag in just a moment, but don't be surprised if we ended up going through a larger corrective movement. OG Yomi said, literally a dreamland scenario. It is a dreamland scenario, and I would love for that to happen. I'm not sure that it will. I'm not saying that it will. It's just a possibility out there. It's a theory, a game theory. That's what it is. Cash Out Chris said, good morning. I'm 20 and thinking about getting into crypto. I've never invested in anything before. Any suggestions? This is why I'm looking forward to having callers, because I would totally tell you just to call in so we could talk about this. That will be coming soon. So here's the deal. If you've never invested in anything before, I would recommend to get a little bit of Bitcoin. Don't put a massive amount of your wealth into crypto yet. I want you to follow something called the financial sovereignty way. And the financial sovereignty way starts with step 1, choosing to live in financial sovereignty. It starts by choosing this day that you will be sovereign over your wealth, period. Full stop. And there is nothing, and I do mean nothing, that is going to stop you from living that way. You have made a decision that from this day forward, the stated goal is that I will be the one that is sovereign over my wealth. If you have not chosen to live in a way that is sovereign over your wealth, then that is where you need to go back and you need to say, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, in a word, repent of anything that I think about money other than that. I'm not saying you have to throw out everything you know about money. I'm saying if you have a philosophy that does not put you in control of your money, change your mind. Decide, I am not going to follow the foolishness of letting other people have my money through debt. I'm not going to choose the foolishness of having my own whims and chaos of life dictate where my money goes, so I'm going to have a budget. I'm not going to let my own greed control me, so I'm going to be generous. I'm not going to let my own instant gratification control me, so I'm going to save and invest. I'm also not going to let my own greed and instant desire for instant satisfaction stop me from living on less than I make. And I'm going to choose to be in control of all of those things, in control of myself and the heart posture that leads to those issues with money. And I'm going to be in control of the money. So that's the first thing. You've got to forsake foolishness and choose FinSol. Step 2, I want you to immediately live in the green. Cut your expenses below your income by either increasing your income or cutting your expenses. One of the two, but 48 hours from now, you spend less money than you bring in, period. I don't care what it takes. Unless it's going to make you or someone else have a medical emergency, you don't live on more than you're bringing in, period. Step 3, you're going to build a budget. Step 4, I want you to save $2,500 to start an emergency fund. Step 5, I want you to pay off all of your non-mortgage debt. You probably don't own a house at this point, and that's totally fine. But if you have any debt, I want you to pay that off. Then I want you to save 3 to 6 months of emergency savings. And then I want you to invest 15% of your household income into retirement. I don't mind if some of this goes into crypto, but I don't think you should have any more than 10% of your retirement savings in crypto. This should be in a 401k with a match first if it's available. After that, then it should be going into a retirement account, such as a Roth IRA. I recommend a Roth IRA over a traditional IRA because of the tax breaks. Invest the vast majority of that, I'm talking at least 90% of that, into the United States stock market, into either directly the S&P 500 if you don't have experience picking funds, or into a fund that can outpace the stock market and has done so for a very long time. Step 8 and 9, you do at the same time. You are either, in your case, you're probably saving for a down payment on a house, and then you will also be paying off the house early with a 15-year mortgage because it'll save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest over the course of your life, which will help you to build wealth. And step 9, at the same time, after you're doing that, then you will begin to invest for wealth generation. And after you've done all of those things, you have paid for a house, you're investing 15% for retirement, you have a fully funded 3 to 6 months emergency fund, then you're going to be radically generous, live an awesome life, leave a great inheritance, and have a lot of fun, and that's how you're going to build wealth. That is the financial sovereignty way, which I will be teaching you guys until I am old and gray. If you want to know how to be successful, that's how you do it. Tom Crown's in chat said, Jeb, YouTube is back to bear market views. Hold me. I know it, Tom Crown. I thought it was just me. It's not. No, I didn't think it was just me. It really is bear market views. Where'd everybody go? That's the sad thing. Everybody's like, deuces, I'm out. I'm only interested in making money when the market's going up. That's why we don't just talk about technical analysis. We're talking about how to build wealth. If you follow that model I just taught you, you will succeed. You will. I guarantee you, you will be better off with money than you are right now. No question about it. Can it be God should be the one to have sovereign over our wealth? So Emmanuel Davila, that's a great question. Financial sovereignty I define like this. We are under God, above creation, in control. God has created us to be stewards of his creation. That is why he made us in the first place. It's not a bad thing that humans went out and built a civilization and used the resources of the earth and stewarded them to grow a society. That's the whole point, that creation was the new spawn world. Like you build a Minecraft world. That Minecraft world is for the player. The earth, the cosmos is for mankind. And Jesus says in Matthew 5, verse 3, and blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. You get an inheritance from who? From your mother, or in this case, from your father, right? We inherit it. It is a blessing. It is a gift that God gives to us. That being said, it's not the greedy that he allows to, that he leaves the earth to. It is the meek that he leaves the earth to. When we are meek, what is meekness? It is submitting to somebody else's will. That is where we bring, that is where we are likely, not all the time, but likely we are going to be blessed with, part of the earth to manage. And so that's where if we follow God's laws on money, which are the 6, choose financial sovereignty, live on less than you make, have a written plan for your money, be radically generous, get out of debt and save and invest for the future. All 6 of those are biblical, right? When we follow those laws, which is the meekness component, we are being meek, we're submitting to God's will and his law and how to manage our money. That's what he teaches us. Then our money will grow. It is the fulfillment of Matthew 5:3, the 6 laws of money. Blessed are the meek. Meek to who? The meek that follow God and what he teaches on money. For they shall inherit the earth. Is it any wonder that if you follow the 6 laws of money, you end up getting more of the earth? It's almost like the Bible is true, right? We just have to do what it says. So, yes, God is ultimately the one that holds our wealth. It is all his. We are simply stewards of it. And that's the kind of dichotomy there. All right, Shadrach Frost is in chat, said, folks, please smash the like button right away. It takes a second and really helps this channel. Give back the love and support that Jeb brings to us on a daily basis. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much. All right. Great question here. Satisfaction Hub said, bro, is this a crypto channel or a religion channel at Crypto Jeb? Here's the thing I realized. When I came to the Lord, because when I started this channel, I was an atheist. When I came to the Lord, I realized that if I wanted people to succeed, then I had to go back to the author of creation and ask him how people succeed. You know, it's so funny when you read the science, when you read sociology, psychology, physics, anything, pretty much all of it, especially the social sciences, all of it, but even the modern medical consensus, most of it leads back to exactly what the Bible's been teaching for a very long time. And one of the things that most people agree on nowadays, live on a budget. Well, Jesus says it is a fool that goes out to build a tower and he gets halfway up the tower and he runs out of materials because he didn't sit down and count the cost, and everybody mocks him and calls him a fool and laughs at him because he didn't have a budget. Didn't use the word budget, but the phrasing is he didn't count the cost. He didn't have a written plan to see how much it was going to cost to build this thing. Everybody's saying, let's have a budget. Jesus was saying that 2,000 freaking years ago. What I learned when I started thinking to myself, man, I feel like technical analysis is awesome, and I love teaching technical analysis, and it's very important that I teach technical analysis, and I will use technical analysis for the rest of my life because I've got a mastery in it. I understand it, but it's not enough to teach you how to read a chart. That is not enough to make you wealthy. I just blew half of your minds. It is not enough. We've got to understand how to handle money. I know so many people. I've been doing this for 7 years. I've been doing this almost a third of my life. All right? I've been doing this for a very long time. And what I have found is so many people get into crypto thinking that it's their get-rich-quick scheme. They're going to make bank in crypto because crypto. And it doesn't work that way. Crypto is a tool, just like the stock market, just like a dollar, just like anything. Now, Bitcoin is obviously much superior in a lot of ways to the United States dollar. I'm not talking about all I'm saying is that they are all tools. You are the one that will make a change in your life, or not. You are the one that will succeed, or you are the one that will fail. And so unless I teach you, and you, and you, and you, and myself, exactly how money is supposed to actually be managed, It will not work. When I came to the Lord, I made myself a promise. If I ever think that I'm supposed to talk about Christ, or excuse me, if I ever feel some doubt about whether or not I should talk about Jesus, I'm going to do it anyway, knowing full well that some people will tune out and say, Jeb's just talking about religion again. You're welcome to your opinion. You're welcome to watch or not. I've got no problem with that. Anytime that I think to myself, I'm not sure if I should talk about Jesus right now, I'm just going to. Because you know what the Gospels say? The Gospels say that Jesus, if we are ashamed of him, then he will be ashamed of us. And I don't want my Savior to be ashamed of me. And I knew that it would cost us some views. Guys, if I just kept doing what we did 3-4 years ago, talking about technical analysis, guys, I got the belt 2 years in a row for being the best technical analyst in the space. I'm not trying to be prideful. I'm just saying I could have done that and just ignored all of this. I didn't have to preach on financial sovereignty, but I know that I will never make the impact in your life that I was called to make unless I preach from the good book, because the fact of the matter is it has the core of what we need to succeed in every area of our life. And because I love you so much, I can't be silent on that just to get more views. It's not about the views. It's not about the money. It never was. I never started this for the money or the viewership or 1 million subscribers or the play button behind me. That was never the goal. The goal was always to help you guys and to help the people around me to succeed with money. And that vision has led me down the path of saying, I've got to talk about financial sovereignty. I don't have a choice. My principles forbid me from getting on this camera and not talking about it. I have to. I don't have a choice. My hands are tied because I know what I am called to. I know that I am called to teach you guys how to succeed with money, and I know that there is one authority on that, on heaven and earth, and his name is God the Father. And his word teaches us how to succeed with money. So I tell you the truth, I will preach it till the cows come home. Until I die, I will teach you about financial sovereignty. I will teach you about it for as long as I have breath in my lungs, because I genuinely believe people screwing up with money is one of the biggest ways that they absolutely destroy their life. And I don't want that for you, because I've seen it happen time and time and time again in my life, in other people's lives. Not handling money the way that it ought to be handled ruins them. It destroys their life. Do you feel the emotion? I know you do. I feel it because it's true. It hurts. I've seen so much pain and I'm tired of it. There's a better way, and I will share it with you. And I am trying to live it in my life all the time. And so for anybody who doesn't like that, that's totally fine. That's completely fine. I know that I'm on the path. And I know that if you follow financial sovereignty, you will be too. I know that I struggle all the time with things like frivolous spending, or I'm feeling lazy, I'm gonna buy a pizza, right? I struggle with all of this stuff. I'm not better than anybody. I just know the truth. And I want you guys to succeed. That has always been the reason I do what I do. Always. Always. Got some people going hard in chat, happy about that little rant. Shadrach Frost said, Romans 14:11 said, as I live, says the Lord, every knee shall bow to me and every tongue shall confess to God. I tell you the truth, every one of you listening will bow the knee to Christ, and you will hear the words from my mouth ring through your head on that day, because I am preaching the word of God. Romans 14:11. You don't get a choice in the matter, so please be on the right side. $2024 average new car payment, $738 a month. 2024 average used car payment, $523 a month. Don't be that guy. Spend that money on Bitcoin. Right. It's absolutely right. What is one of the laws of money that we get from the Bible? Which I will never apologize for that being my source material. Ever. Because I am so very thankful that I have the truth and I don't have to wonder what it is. What does it teach us? It teaches us to not be in debt. It teaches us to save and invest. What you're saying, don't put all your money into a stupid car payment. Put your money into an investment. Build wealth, right? I want you to succeed. Succeeding with money doesn't mean you have to be broke, and succeeding with money doesn't mean you have to be rich. It means you got to be in control of it and do it God's way. That's how you succeed with money, whether you got $10 or $10 million. If you are in control of it and you are stewarding it God's way, then you, my friend, are succeeding with it. We love and care about you too. Keep on doing, keep on keeping on, and good things will come to you. Hashtag Joe Dirt. There you go. Hashtag Joe Dirt. G Immortal said, love is greater than anything. Keep going. Yeah. Praise be to the God of creation. Amen. 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 Drop a tear, bro. All right, let's talk some more about crypto, because I did get off on a big old rant there, and we do have some crypto to talk about. All right, let's just see if there's any. Talking about Christ is much different than talking about religion. Preach the word. Yeah, I'm not a legalist, guys. If it's not in the word, then it's not in the word. Like, I'm not, there are a lot of people that want to make stuff up, and you know what I call those people? I call them Pharisees. But if it's in the word, it's true, and it's that simple. Okay. Yep. Financial sovereignty is simple. People don't want simple. They want quick bucks. That's right. They don't want simple. Pay cash for things that depreciate and finance things that depreciate. I disagree with you, Schmedley B, but that's definitely better than financing everything. All right. Cool. Let's keep it going here, guys. So, on the matter of Bitcoin, looking down here on the hourly chart, there is currently a bull flag playing out, as we talked about, and I'm actually really excited for this because there is a possibility that it could turn into an inverse head and shoulders pattern, as you can see right here. This bull flag, as you can see right there, would give us a price target pushing up towards $72,000, which is our all-time high. If we are able to break up towards all-time high, then the whole scenario of dropping down to $47,000 very well may not happen. That being said, of course, Bitcoin has to actually go through the rally in the first place. We have to actually break out in the first place. Right now, a lot of people are very much disenfranchised with Bitcoin because they don't feel that Bitcoin is really going to come back to all-time high anytime soon. So they're just kind of stepping out of the space and saying, all right, we're gonna just chill for a little bit. We're gonna wait, maybe dollar cost average, but we're just gonna kind of step out and hang out. That's what we're seeing right now. A lot of people are just kind of tuning out, and that's fine. That's fine. We'd be patient in that time. During that time, though, those of us that have stayed and are continuing to look at the charts, what we are able to see is that Bitcoin is witnessing this bull flag, and bull flags typically will break bullish, which is very exciting. Okay, like I said, the price target sits up there towards $72,000. If we look at LUX ALGO, what we will therefore likewise see is that on the 4-hourly chart, there is I do believe there's still a buy signal on the 4-hourly chart. Yes, there is. There's a buy signal here on 4-hourly chart. Price target sits between 64.7 and 67.7. In all likelihood, Bitcoin will probably break up into the price target, which would mean it's breaking this level of resistance right here, which means it would be breaking bullish out of the bull flag, which means we could be on our way to $70,000. We could very well be done with this correction right now. We might be. We very well may be. This corrective movement may be over, especially considering the fact that Bitcoin broke above this downtrending level of resistance. So time will tell. If we do go into an uptrend, here's what I want you to do. Continue to dollar cost average, follow our investment plan, which is as follows. Every Friday at 5 p.m., every Monday at 1 p.m., every Wednesday at 2 p.m., every Saturday at 3:37 in the morning, whatever it is. Every interval, we, because I'm married, or I if you're single, we if you're married, I if we're single, we will invest rather than divest, because this is an investment plan, not a divestment plan. We will invest $100, $200, $500, $20, $40, whatever, into our cryptocurrency portfolio, which is defined as such. There are two parts of our cryptocurrency portfolio that we're going to put money into every week. We're going to put money into a cash account between 5 and 20% when the market is uptrending. We're going to put the rest of it into a carefully curated cryptocurrency portfolio that consists primarily of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And you can have 20, 30, 40, 50% of it so much or so in altcoins other than Bitcoin and ETH. But the majority of it I want you to put into, up to half of it at least. I want you to put into Bitcoin and ETH. After that, you will also say on a cryptocurrency exchange. And you pick which cryptocurrency exchange it'll be going on to. That's our investment plan. If the market continues to rally, then that's what you do. You follow the investment plan, at least for now. Again, if you are at a place where you desire to put more into the cryptocurrency space, you may be like some people and you already have so much of your wealth in crypto that you really need to diversify, and you need to have wealth in your home by paying down your mortgage, and you need to have wealth in your retirement accounts by investing in the stock market. If you haven't done those two things, you ought to start. You will be glad you did. Now, if you are investing, then if the market goes up, then you keep investing. If the market goes down and drops down towards $47,000, then you just simply you simply start deploying that cash account that you were setting aside in the good times, either by eliminating the cash investment allocation every week and just maxing out the cryptocurrency portfolio portion, or by deploying some of the cash into the market. But remember, never, ever, ever deploy all of your capital. Never deploy all of your cash. Always keep some, because you think that this is a deep drop until you drop all the way down here, and then you're broke because you bought everything right here. Always keep some cash. Even if it's 5% of your cash, you deploy 95%, keep some of it just so you can buy the bottom if it goes even lower. Never fully deplete it down to zero. Deplete it in an asymptotic formation. For any of you guys that will remember physics in high school, or even mathematics, actually, an asymptote is a line that steadily approaches zero, but it never actually gets there. That'll be your cash account. You can drain it quickly at first, and then slow down the draining, never letting it get down to zero. There's your cash account. Looks something like that, right? You might drain it quickly at first, or maybe you don't. Maybe you drain it in a linear way, more like this. However you drain it, don't ever let it get to zero. Always keep a little bit of cash. In case it goes lower, you can deploy more. So that's what we're going to do. If that bull flag does send us into an uptrend, great. If it doesn't, great. We know what to do, whether it goes up or it goes down, and we run this machine ad nauseum for years, and then we make money, and we print cash. That's the way it works. All right. Guys, I also want to let you know about one of our sponsors, which is Vault by Uphold. If you have not already gone to Uphold and signed up for Vault, you are missing out. Hit the link in the description box down below. Come to Vault and secure your wealth today with this system. The way that Vault works is that you have 3 keys. Vault Uphold holds one of them. You hold 2 of them. You are able to access your vault by holding with 2 of the keys. You're able to use the Uphold key to get into the wallet should you lose one of your keys. The likelihood of losing one key, unfortunately, is possible. The likelihood of losing both keys at the exact same time is extraordinarily unlikely, like lightning striking the same place twice in a short time frame. This allows you to store your cryptocurrency in a highly secure manner, and it also means that you have access to the markets 24/7, which is revolutionary. Being able to access the cryptocurrency markets for 24/7 instant trading on Vault, on Uphold, but also having your Bitcoin in private custody, that, my friends, is something worth trying. So make sure to check that out with the link in the description box down below. Near former all-time high and folks are bored. It's definitely different this time. Yeah, for real. It is. SEC sending Wells notices to Robinhood and other exchanges, but nobody knows what for. That uncertainty is causing selling pressure. Yes, it is. Absolutely. That's something I was looking into. So let's see if I can find a article on this. Yeah, so Reuters has a good article on this. On May 6th, retail platform Robinhood said on Monday it received an enforcement action notice from US SEC on May the 4th over crypto tokens traded on its platform. The company said it received a so-called Wells notice, which the SEC issues when it is planning to bring enforcement action against them. Such notices do not necessarily mean the company has engaged in wrongdoing. We firmly believe that the assets listed on our platform are not securities, and we look forward to engaging with the SEC to make clear just how weak any case against Robinhood crypto would be. Boom. Mic drop. Dan Gallagher. He sounds like a Scottish warrior. He's like, we're going to go and fight the SEC. Chief Legal Compliance and Corporate Affairs Officer at Robinhood. Man, he's got a lot of jobs. The SEC has adopted a tough stance towards the digital cryptocurrency industry. Yada, yada, yada. Point is, we don't really know what it's about yet. So, but as you said, it is causing uncertainty. So we'll see. All right. All right. Let's see. Is SEC FUD causing a small drop? I think so. I don't think it'll continue to last, though, and the reason for that is because, I mean, like I said, it could go down to 47, but I don't think it's like a bear market starting or anything. I think we're going through healthy corrective movement, guys. Guys, Bitcoin has gone through a gigantic rally. It's gone through an absolutely enormous rally over the last year and a half. It always needed some time to correct. So we shouldn't be surprised that that's what's happening. All right, let's read a little bit of chat, and then we will wrap it out here pretty soon. Your thoughts on Link and AVAX? Love Link. Avalanche, not the biggest fan, but I do think it's a good project. But I'm not personally a big holder of it. I have some, but not much. Okay. 20, 30 millionaires. Yep. Petro, cars, and crypto said it all goes hand in hand. That satisfaction, man. Yeah, it does. I mean, I can't. I reached this place in my walk where I'm like, look, I can't teach you any more than I've already taught you on finance and crypto without teaching you the truth, which is the Bible, right? I just can't. There's no way. So, let's see. Still bullish on Arbitrum, Jeb. Well, I am. It's got a lot of TVL coming in. Let's look at it over here on DeFi Llama. Let's see here. It's doing well. Like I said, guys, I want the majority of the portfolio to be in Bitcoin and ETH because those are the two that I have a reasonable belief that they will be here in 5 years. What have I been teaching over and over? Some of you won't like that I teach that. Some of you won't like that I say, oh my gosh, they'll say, Jeb, you only want to invest in big caps. The little guy can't get ahead if he invests in big caps. 10x in 3 years isn't enough. There's all this nonsense of investing in big cap coins is not good enough. Here's the thing. This is something that Warren Buffett had to learn. Like him or hate him, Warren Buffett's worth what? $100 billion? He's got it. His net worth is the same as his age, right? He's very wealthy. Knows what he's talking about. Charlie Munger, rest in peace, passed away last year. Charlie Munger convinced him in like the 1720s or something that investing in great companies over good companies that are smaller is the way to go. Warren Buffett kept losing his freaking butt because he was always betting on the contender. He was always betting on the underdog. He was always betting on Rocky. Munger convinced him, quit betting on Rocky, start betting on Apollo, because he's probably going to win. And you know what Charlie did? He convinced him to buy the Apples of the world. He convinced him to buy the Microsofts of the world. Now, Apple used to be the underdog. Now it's the big dog, right? He convinced him to buy the Coca-Colas and the Pepsis of the world rather than the little runner-up companies. And when Warren Buffett did that, he realized if he builds a machine where he can have income and he can have investments that he reasonably expects are going to perform well. If I hold it for 5 years, 10 years, it's going to be worth more than it is now. I'm going to succeed. And you know what happened? He stopped losing his money. Sure, it might have grown a little slower, but then it grew a lot faster. You know why? Because the company didn't disappear. It actually ended up rallying so quickly. And he ended up making a lot of money because he wasn't losing his butt every 5 years. He wasn't having to start from scratch. So, do I like Arbitrum? Yeah, I think it's a good project. Is it the number one in our portfolio? Not even close. The reason is I'm going to follow the people that are 700 years old that have been investing for 600 of those years. They've been investing since before my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was born. Man, these guys are older than freaking dirt. They know what they're talking about. They've done it for a long time. Which one of you, give me a 1 in chat if any of you is older than Warren Buffett. I'm not saying age is a marker of experience. I think Buffett's completely wrong on Bitcoin. I think a lot of older people are wrong on Bitcoin. A lot of older people are also very right on Bitcoin. They realize it's one of the ways they can maybe catch up and try and get into retirement. So I don't think he's right on everything, but I think overall the broad philosophy of bet on the greatest in each industry is the best move because your risk approaches zero, which is a great thing. When we're doing risk-to-reward ratios, we've got to calculate the risk. And if we don't, we're what are known as foolish investors. And we all know what happens to foolish investors. All right. That man is Warren Buffett. That guy, oh my goodness. He is embalmed with Coca-Cola. That's how he's still kicking. That guy drinks like 8 Cokes every day. All right. I also want to let you guys know before we wrap it out that today's stream is brought to you in part by Crypto.com. If you have not signed up for Crypto.com, you absolutely should because user interface is one of the most important facets of whether or not you are going to succeed in your investments. If you are able to build the habit of investment, if you are able to build the habit of continually investing in the market, then it will help you to succeed. And if you don't, then you will have a harder time succeeding. It is that simple. Crypto.com helps you to invest in the cryptocurrency space with recurring purchases and with a deadly easy user interface. So if you're trying to start investing in crypto, which you absolutely should, then the best place to do so is Crypto.com. Make sure to check them out with the link in the description box down below. we're going to wrap it out. So I'm going to read chat for just a second, and then we're going to go. See if there's anything else here. Fortune favors the brave, Queen said. That's right. Let's see. We are all free to make our own choices on what we put in our bodies. That's right. Absolutely. If you want, look, I love Coke. I totally get it. If it wasn't, going to be terrible for me, I would totally drink like 8 Cokes a day. I don't drink Coke. I don't drink caffeine. I quit caffeine. Also heard he eats Max every day. Hey, look, he's obviously found the fountain of youth. The guy's 700 years old. Clearly he has discovered that it doesn't matter what he eats. He's just going to live forever. I mean, like when the conquistadors were exploring and, conquering and pillaging and being terrible in North America, there he was, drinking his Coca-Cola, eating his Big Mac, and buying the S&P 500. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's stream. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Shadrach Frost said, thank you, Jeb, for being you, keeping the faith in the Lord, and speaking truths. Regardless, I support and appreciate you, sir. Hashtag DCA. Hashtag DCA. Hashtag FinSoft. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. I am going to wrap it out. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, check out our sponsors down below. They help to support all the things that we are doing here. And before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good